you. Good evening and welcome everyone to the San Maria Unified Board of Education meeting. Today is Tuesday, May 12th. I'd like to call this meeting to order at 7:03. All meetings of the Board of Education are open to members of the public unless publicly noticed as closed session. I'm sorry, I think I need to skip ahead. This is from earlier. Just give me 1 second. Item 5, there is no report of closed session. Now, call to order. Roll call, please. Mr. Chang.
Aye.
Mr. Sung.
Present.
Ms. Lamb.
Here.
Mrs. Ryan.
Here.
Mrs. Gill here, and student board member, Mr. Burke.
Here.
Thank you. Now I'd like to turn it over to Dr. Leonard Richter to introduce our student leading us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Thank you, President Gill. Tonight, it is our honor to welcome an outstanding Huntington Fox, Joseph Ruiz, to lead the board in the salute to the flag this evening. For those of you that don't know Joseph, Joseph is truly the unofficial mayor of Huntington Middle School. He is an inspiration to all students, all staff, and all parents in the entire HMS community. He is exactly the student we would like to see in our schools and in our district. So Joseph, we welcome you this evening. Thank you for being here. Please join us at the podium to share a little bit about yourself, your school, introduce any guests that you may have here this evening with you to support you, and lead the board in the salute to the flag.
Hi, I'm Joe Ruiz, and I've made a lot of friends at Huntington Middle School, but throughout my 3 years and getting more wise, one friend that has stood out to me and might be a shocker is the school itself. Something feels like when I walk into the building, it feels like the school is personally saying hi to me every morning, and I just love it a lot. So I would ask if you guys could please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Place your right hand over your heart. I pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Good evening. Thank you, Dr. De La Torre, Board President Gill, and members of the executive team. My name is Joe Ruiz, and I'm an 8th grader at Huntington Middle School. This year, I really enjoyed being a part of band class, chess club during lunch, and collaborating with my friends through different lunchtime activities. I also loved the school trips that were offered to us, such as Pally and Magic Mountain. We met new friends and participated in activities that taught us how to work together. During my time at Huntington, I was honored to receive several rewards, including ones for respect, responsibility, courage, and honesty, which means a lot to me. I've truly enjoyed my time here, and I'm thankful for all the teachers and coaches who believed in me and helped me grow. Because of this school, I've made many lifelong friends and great memories. I'm proud to be a Huntington Fox. I would also like to recognize my family members, Mila, Rodney, and Jessica, who have been through with me through this wild and crazy journey of a almost roller coaster type life with many ups and downs, many airtime, but some mellow parts.
Yay. So Joseph,
Don't go anywhere. Hold on, Joe.
Before you leave, I'd like you to come up front and center. We're going to present you with a certificate of appreciation. And on behalf of the Board of Education and myself, I would like to thank you for being here this evening and for being the official mayor of Huntington Middle School. I've seen you on campus many times, and you do represent our student body exceptionally well. Thank you for being here this evening and sharing a little bit about how you experience Huntington Middle School. It's very much fun. So this certificate reads in appreciation for leading the Board of Education in the Pledge of Allegiance at their regularly scheduled meeting held on May 12, 2026. So here you are. We're going to take a photograph with you at the Board of Education, and then we're going to invite your assistant principal and guests to come and take pictures. One, two, three. Okay, please come. Okay, you want to come up? Yeah, you in the picture too. Oh, yeah. Okay, let's take that. Okay.
Can I just add one thing about Joseph? He was the first one when I went over to the middle school. He was the first one to introduce himself to me, and he was so disgusted that he had to deal with a Yankee fan because he is always head to toe in Dodger gear, and so he was so frustrated that that's who he had to see every morning.
I've known him since he was here in kindergarten. He's in my son's class, and he's always been that amazing. So, yeah. So, moving on to the approval of the agenda. Do I have a motion to approve the agenda?
So moved.
Second, please.
Second.
Okay, roll call. Mr. Chang,
Aye.
Mr. Sung,
Aye.
Ms. Lamb,
Aye.
Mrs. Ryan,
Aye.
Mrs. Gill, aye, and Rowan?
Aye.
Yeah. Okay, approval of minutes. Do I have a motion to approve the 4/28/26 meeting minutes?
So moved.
Second, please.
Second.
Okay, roll call. Mr. Chang,
Aye.
Mr. Sung,
Aye.
Ms. Lamb,
Aye.
Mrs. Ryan,
Aye.
Mrs. Gill, aye, and Mr. Berg?
Aye.
Thank you. 7, San Marino Unified School District Spotlight. I would like to turn it over to Assistant Principal Penelora to introduce Senior Max Zhao for his incredible accomplishments.
Thank you. Should Max come up?
Yes,
yet?
Max,
Okay.
please come up.
Max, come over here, please. Good evening, Board President Gill, esteemed board members, our Superintendent, Dr. De La Torre, and our Executive Cabinet. It is my honor tonight to introduce a truly exceptional young man, Max Zhao. Last summer, in July, Max represented the United States at the 57th International Chemistry Olympiad held in Dubai, where he earned a gold medal and placed 20th in the world among the top chemistry students internationally. Yes. Prior to competing on the world stage, Max attended an intensive 2-week study camp at the University of Maryland, College Park, where he competed against 19 of the nation's top finalists for the opportunity to represent Team USA after earning first place in the Southern California section of the American Chemical Society's U.S. National Chemistry Olympiad. As if that accomplishment were not remarkable enough, Max has qualified this year for the USA Biology Olympiad Finals, placing him among the top 20 biology students in the nation. And he will attend the prestigious training camp at Harvard University this summer. So please join me in welcoming Max Zhao.
Yeah, so I guess first of all, I'd like to say it's a great honor to be here and be honored by the board. Right, and I guess obviously you might want to know a bit about the trip to the UAE. Right, so I guess first of all, after the camp, we had about a few weeks where we were just studying chemistry to prepare. So when the day came, we boarded a flight. Flight was very long, I think about 16 hours. We landed in Dubai. Very good. Yeah, and the first thing we noticed was that it was very hot there. And we got to our hotel, and then that was essentially when the program began. So first day there was an opening ceremony. Then after that we had some activities. Eventually it came time for the exam, and there was one day for the lab, which was 5 hours. Yep. We thought it went pretty well. Then there was a day of rest, and then we had the theory exam, which was also 5 hours. After that, we were able to relax a bit more. Throughout the trip, we did a lot of sightseeing. We visited an art museum, visited an amusement park, and also the Dubai Mall, which was very big. Also had a lot of fun talking to my 3 other teammates and talking to the other teams representing countries from all over the world. And in the end, we were very happy that we were all able to win gold medals at the closing ceremony.
That's
Yes.
amazing. Thank you.
So, Max, I want to congratulate you on this wonderful accomplishment of yours that we are also very proud of. We have a certificate of recognition that we're going to be presenting to you this evening, and it reads as follows. In recognition of your outstanding achievement in placing 20th in the world at the 57th International Chemistry Olympiad held in Dubai, United Arab Emirates. Your dedication, academic excellence, and commitment to the field of chemistry bring great pride to our school and to our community. And this award is presented to you this day, May 12th, 2026. And I'd like you to come over here and take a photograph with the Board of Education, front and center.
Thank you.
Max, do you feel comfortable sharing where you're going next year? Yeah.
You are a shining star, San Diego High School. We are so proud of you. Stand further. You. Stand right on. Yes, let's get in the Here, yeah, look up there. Okay, all right. Where's the next one?
The biology one is at Harvard.
Shooting
It's a shooting
cup.
cup.
Shooting cup is opened up shooting. Get selected to the final four that you are the best of the match. Yeah. It's divided. No.
Amazing.
Lithuania.
She has the different function. You go for the pieces on the answer?
I think I'm right on. Yeah.
Just solidified it. Yeah. Oh, he does. Yeah. Bonding over physics. All right.
Amazing.
Congratulations.
Max.
Love seeing our students in action here. Okay, now it is time for public comment. The Board of Education has adopted Board Policy 9323B to ensure the public's right to be heard in any matters pertaining to the San Marino Unified School District. Persons who wish to provide public comment will have 3 options to submit public comments. 1, submit through an online form. Have we had any submissions? Mrs. De La Torre, are you? We'll come back to that. Number 2, request to speak during the meeting via Zoom. Mr. Huang, please pause the meeting for 1 minute to collect public comments.
1 minute starts now. Communications from the audience regarding matters not on the agenda or items in the information, consent, or action sections. Please provide your comments now. If you would like to request to speak during the meeting, please press the raise hand icon to make a request. If you're calling in from home, please dial *9 or please submit a public comment card. There's approximately 30 seconds left. We do not have any attendees online wishing to speak.
Okay, going back to number 1, did we have any submissions through the online form? Thank you. The third way is to request to speak during the meeting in person via the public comment card. Do we have any submissions? Okay, there are 4 cards that are topics not on the agenda. I am going to start with CSCA member Alex Tarantula.
Good evening, Superintendent Delatorre, Board President Gill, Cabinet. My name is Alec Tartula. I am a paraprofessional at HMS. I'm also the CSCA Chapter Vice President for San Marino. I am here to speak on behalf of Dika Firmasaya. He is a HMS PE instructional aide. And here's his speech. He's speaking on what a 10% raise would do for him. A 10% raise is more than just the number on a paycheck. A 10% raise would help relieve financial stress and make everyday expenses more manageable. It could mean catching up instead of falling behind. It could also mean paying bills without choosing one, and one would have to wait. It also mean groceries without stress, gas without checking the bank first, or finally putting some things into savings. It would help with the rising cost of rent/mortgage, groceries, gas, and bills, while giving me a little bit more stability and security for the future. More than anything, it would make me feel valued for the work I do every day for the district and the students we serve. Why classified employees are the engine that makes the district run. Classified employees are essential to keeping the San Marino Unified School District running smoothly every single day. We support students, staff, families in countless ways behind the scenes and in front lines as well. From the custodial staff to the maintenance to food service to office support to tech. We are not just extra support, we're an essential infrastructure. SMUSD could not function without the classified staff. We are essential people who help create safe, organized, and supportive environments where students can learn and succeed. Why do I want to do this even if I am underpaid? I do this work because I care about the students and I take pride working for San Marino Unified. Even if I feel sometimes the pay does not reflect the value of my everyday work that I do, I continue to show up because I know what I do somehow makes a difference within the school district. Supporting students, coworkers, and at SMUSD gives me a sense of purpose, and I believe the work of classified employees matters deeply. At the same time, caring about the job should not mean accepting being underpaid. We deserve fair compensation and for essential work that we do. Thank you so much for your time. Appreciate it.
Next up, I'd like to call Mr. James Jacobs.
Good evening, Superintendent Delatorre, President Gill, board members, and cabinet. First of all, I got to say, our students are amazing. I still can't balance electrons, so it's and they are extremely well traveled. It's unbelievable, and we're looking forward to having Joe at the high school next year. I'm up here not only, those of you, let me introduce myself first of all. I'm the president of CSEA, Chapter 120, and I've been in this position for 3 years now, and it was a situation in which our former president was stepping down, and everyone stepped back, and I stood there, so I ended up being president. But those of you that know me here for a number of years know that I always try to rise to a challenge, and I've enjoyed my 27 years here. But as the voice for our people, I want to speak for two people here, and I'll make it as brief as possible. One is Courtney Robinson, and she's our administrative assistant at the middle school, and the second will be Ebner Avincenia, and he's our night custodian at the high school. So let me read Courtney's first, and I'm going to definitely need my classes for this one. Good morning, esteemed board members and district executive team. I just wanted to reach out and kindly ask you to consider CSEA's request for a meaningful raise that includes our basic COLA. A 10% increase would really help make a noticeable difference in how I manage the rising financial pressures my family faces each month. As costs for rent, gas, groceries, childcare, and other everyday needs keep going up, it's becoming harder to stay financially stable, even though I work hard and do my best. On top of all the regular expenses, I'm also raising an infant. Her infant has a medical condition that requires ongoing care, appointments, treatments, and medical bills. These healthcare costs add another layer of financial stress, and that's tough to juggle alongside everyday living expenses. Even with careful budgeting, the constraints, the constant rise in living costs make it challenging to keep everything balanced. She couldn't be here today because her husband is actually working a second job, so she had to stay home with the child. Getting a raise would really help ease some of the financial pressure, making it easier to cover essential expenses, stay current on medical bills, and provide more stability and peace of mind for my family. It would also lessen the stress of trying to manage these increasing costs while ensuring my child gets the care and support he needs. We deeply care about this district and the students we serve. We are asking the board and executive team to invest in their employees who continue to show up every day at our schools. Thank you for your time and consideration, Courtney Robinson. And let me read Ebner's. He's our night custodian, and he's just a wonderful young man. And I reached out to him, and this is what he wanted me to express. My name is Ebner Avincenia, and I work as a night custodian at San Marino High School. Our duties extend beyond just being a janitor. During the pandemic, we were on the front lines cleaning and sanitizing all the rooms with less manpower due to the layoffs. When we experienced the recent strong windstorms, the custodians took on the responsibility of securing the buildings. We made sure no students were on campus as flying debris was everywhere with almost zero visibility as dust and black smoke surrounded the campuses without electricity. When a student was trapped inside the band room, all of us worked together to break through the metal doors to open until the firefighters arrived. We also acted as security to make sure no outsiders or homeless people enter the district, property. We work quietly behind the scenes. We contribute substantially to the safety of our staff, students, and on a daily basis, while also attending to our regular job duties. I love my job. He does. We're a strong department that rises to the difficult challenges. However, due to the significant rise in the cost of living and current economic inflation, I'm facing increased financial pressure. A 10% raise would help me overcome the stressful situation, but it's not just about the money, it's also about respect and recognition. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Mr. Jacobs. Now we have Jessica Hazer. Sorry if I mispronounced that. Weezar, I'm sorry. Weezar. I know.
I had to write something really quick because today as my father is Nazario Weezer, so I had to work for him in the morning. Good evening. By the way, I'm Jessica Weezer. I'm a night custodian over at the high school. And I'm here to speak up for my fellow custodians. They don't want to be here. A little nervous. With the cost of living, being a single mom of 2 teenagers, Chick-fil-A, and all that stuff, and just the gas that's rising, and just that 10% would help us so much. And me being the only one, the provider for my 2 girls, so the makeup and all that stuff, expensive. We would really appreciate, consideration for us that we're here daily. We do deal, like Edmore had said, with homeless at night. I had an encounter with one of them over at Huntington. Pretty scary, but I stuck it up and I was there. During the fires, we were there the following day, debris, closing doors, making sure our students were safe and making sure that everybody was gone and closing doors behind us. The debris the following day. I don't know if you guys have seen Home Alone when they spray paint one of the robbers' face. Well, Nazario Weezer was blowing the whole campus. He ended up like that with that little mask right here because on all his face. I love my job. I've been working here for 2 years. And I think I'll be here for quite a while. I took off, I came back, and I'm still here, present, and I just love everybody, the whole staff, Jose, Ms. Peñalora, Dr. Wolf. I just feel like this is my second home, where I want to bring my daughters to work here too, as these as a part-time too. And hopefully that would help us reassure and for our safety of our children and stuff like that. So, yes, well, thank you so much.
Thank you. And our final card is Matthew Korn.
Hello, everyone, distinguished members of the board, Superintendent De La Torre. I'm a stranger to some of you in the room and definitely not a stranger to others. My name is Matt Korn. I'm the labor relations representative for our CSEA chapter 120 here at San Marino. And I wanted to start by saying that I recommend this district to a lot of people who are looking for jobs. And I don't do that with all my districts because I know the folks who work here, they love working here. And I know that the administrators who work here are very conscientious people. And I know that the folks here are great partners in serving our students in our community. And CSEA's mission statement is to improve the lives of our members, our students, and our community. And that is always the guiding light of everything that we do. Another thing that we're very good at CSEA is we're very good at advocating politically. And we have had some discussions already about what can CSEA do, or what can we as a district and a community do to ensure that parcel taxes are renewed because they are such an important part of our funding. Today, if I hadn't have been here, I would have been in our field office and I would have been phone banking. Each political season, we endorse candidates and sometimes also ballot measures and issues. And we make phone calls, we go door knocking, we do all kinds of campaign work to make sure that those things pass. It also happens to be in my wheelhouse. I worked in elections for 5 years. I love a good political fight. And CSEA loves to support and partner with our districts to make sure that we are supporting that funding and that we're partners in that. But it becomes hard for CSEA to really be in it with our all when we're not seeing ourselves getting a piece of that pie. And so I say that not to say, if you don't give us a raise, we're going to oppose you or whatever. But it's to say that we want to be partners with the district in making sure that the district is able to keep that funding, and in making sure that our members are able to see some of the fruits of that funding, and be able to benefit along with our students and along with the rest of our community. So like I said, I know that this chapter back in supported Measure M with some of our funds, and that is something that we can also offer. And so I hope that we can move forward as partners, in making sure that this district is financially healthy, and that we can all share in the benefits of that. Thank you all.
Thank you, Mr. Korn. And thank you to all of our speakers. The board always enjoys hearing from our community. Now I would like to turn it over to Superintendent De La Torre to recognize our student board member, Rowan Burke.
Yes, thank you so much, President Gill, members of the Board of Education, executive team. Tonight is my distinct honor on behalf of the San Marino Unified School District Board of Education and Administration and the entire community to recognize and celebrate the outstanding service of our 2025-26 student board member, Rowan Burke. Throughout this school year, Rowan has served with remarkable professionalism, intelligence, poise, and integrity. In his role as student board member, he has consistently elevated student voice and ensured that the Board of Education remained informed about all activities district-wide affecting students and student experiences, perspectives, achievements, and activities. Rowan approached this responsibility with maturity well beyond his years. Whether presenting student updates, engaging in thoughtful discussion, or representing his peers, he demonstrated exceptional preparation, insight, and a deep commitment to the students of San Marino Unified School District. His contributions helped strengthen the important connection between student experiences and board decision-making. And his voice brought valuable perspective to the work that our Board of Education does on a routine basis. Beyond his intellect and leadership, Rowan has represented our students with grace, humility, and authenticity. He has been an exemplary ambassador for the school district and a model of student leadership. In appreciation for his dedicated service, the Board of Education and Superintendent are pleased to present Mr. Burke with a signed basketball as a commemorative token of our gratitude and appreciation, in addition to receiving a resolution that the Board of Education is presenting to you this evening. So Mrs. De La Torre has brought me this wonderful basketball that we're going to present to you. By my all board members.
Rowan, I just want you to know that it was my idea to TP your house. And they didn't want to go for it. They wanted the basketball. So, yeah.
This is a lot easier.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
it is. So I'm going to ask you to come front center. There you go. And we're going to get a photograph of right back. I'm going to read this lovely resolution. And if we could get on front of this here. This is resolution number 12, student board member recognition. Whereas Rowan Burke has served as student board member during the 2025-26 school year, and whereas Rowan Burke has made a unique and significant contribution to the deliberations of the Board of Education through his participation. Now therefore, be it resolved that the Board of Education of the San Marino Unified School District commends and extends appreciation to student board member Rowan Burke, signed by our president, Francesca Gill, and the superintendent. Thank you very much. You should be very proud.
Play the summer, parents playing the basketball Saturday. Yeah, should they invite you? And show us the.
Gosh, I haven't played in a while. I'd be rusty. Great.
Oh my God, that's the. Some of parents is
That's
60
a
years old.
collectible. You're not supposed to go play with that.
No, it'll
Yeah. Okay, now our public hearing. I would like to turn it over to Dr. Lena Richter to conduct a public hearing and receive comments on the elementary science textbook adoption.
Thank you, President Gill, members of the board, Student Board Member Burke, Superintendent Dr. Delatorre, and Executive Cabinet. This evening, the San Marino Unified School District Board of Education is holding a public hearing for curriculum adoption in accordance with Education Code 60119. Quoc, if you would be so kind as to start the clock and pause the meeting for 1 minute. Notice of this hearing was posted for public review at the district office, on the San Marino Unified School District website, and also at Carver and Valentine Elementary in advance of 10 days prior to this evening as required by California Education Code.
Communications from the audience regarding the public hearing and comment on the elementary science textbook adoption, please provide your comments now. If you would like to request to speak during the meeting, please press the raise hand icon. If you're calling in from home, please dial *9 or submit a public comment card. There are 20 seconds left. We have no attendees wishing to speak.
Thank you.
Thank you. That concludes the public hearing. Number 10, communication section. Communications from the Board of Education. We ask that each board member take no more than 3 minutes to share their communications. Let's start with Mr. Chang.
Last Saturday, I attended the San Marino School Foundation donor appreciation reception at the Southern West Academy. As you know, this is a smaller school district fully depends on the school foundation contribution. So I take this opportunity to appreciate all the donors participate. Without your support, school district cannot be better. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chang. Mr. Sung?
Yeah, it was a pleasure to attending the foundation parties in the summer. So I was telling every parents that we are like a semi-private school because without your help, our school funded is always so short and out of budgets. And the one of the reasons why school stand is because of parents. Parents participate and they donate and they sustain the school. And I also visit the parent party for the whiskey night, grand night, and yeah, that was fun. And the Mr. Hunter Chang was there. It was good to see you. Thank you so much. And you. Yeah. I met the Joanna's husband, Andy. Oh my God, he's such a he's such a cool guy. It was a little pleasure to meeting everybody, and you kind of see how much energy we have it to all the parents and pouring their energy to during the parent party. And I find that after the parent party in the grand night that there's a parent party in Carver too, which I completely know. I'm gonna make sure I'm gonna make sure that I'm gonna attend it next time. And really appreciate it that I always say ever since I joined the board, there's one word to describe in the summer is always thank you for me. This is big words, and I really appreciate the parents and thank you for the board and cabinets and CDs and all the council member. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Sung. Ms. Lam?
Yeah, dads have so much fun. Too much fun.
Too much fun.
Too much fun. I didn't attend any events the last 2 weeks, but I do want to take a moment to thank you, the teachers, because last week was Teacher Appreciation Week. I hope many of teachers and staff felt pampered and special and loved by all the students and PTA. And I just really want to express my sincere gratitude to everyone that commits. Tonight we had a lot of people that came to share important concerns. And I feel like on behalf of the board, we appreciate your voices, your professionalism, and your continued commitment to our students. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Lamb.
Mrs. Ryan?
I wanted to first congratulate our teachers and students who were recognized at the Masonic Lodge for teacher-student recognition. The foundation's party for the new donors was well attended. And the really most important thing about the foundation gatherings is really relationship building. San Marino is such a small community, and what we do really well is to really connect with everyone. And so that's a nice event. Congratulations to our staff for staff appreciation, but also Mother's Day was this past weekend. And thank you for all the mothers and all of our teachers as well. So UCLA also had its launch for a new textbook, which is an inclusive curriculum for social science. Be on the lookout for that. It's all free, so we can take those units of study and have a look at them. There you go.
Thank you, Mrs. Ryan.
Did I take 3 minutes?
No, we're banking your time for next time. Okay, I would like to share a wish for Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers or mothers in your lives. I hope that they felt appreciated. I certainly did by my family, which I feel like the best gift is just our time together. So I hope you all had a nice day. I too attended the foundation donors party, and I was reflecting that we do thank the foundation, and we are building a strong, continuing with our strong strategic partnership. But when we say foundation, we really do mean all the individual community members and families that contribute to it. It takes a village to keep this place going, and those villagers are what make it happen. So and speaking of that, the PTA Council end of the year breakfast was held that most of us attended. And we just really want to thank all of our PTA leadership. They're incredible. They work tirelessly. They do so much more than I feel like I do as board president, but they don't get the recognition, and they really just have such a heavy lift and make it look magical somehow. So we just appreciate you all so much. Also, thank you to the staff, teachers, leadership. I can't believe this year is at an end, and looking forward to just, all the end of year activities and graduations. And I think the kids are getting pretty excited about that. I can feel that in my house, that kind of buzzing energy of it's almost over. And it's because it's such a special place that they are excited to have all these events together, but then also come back next year. So thank you.
Please, in the audience, if you want to acknowledge her, Lisa Kelly.
Oh, PTA Council President Marissa Kelly is sitting right behind.
Thank you so much for hosting.
Thank you so much. Your leadership's been just unmatched, so we appreciate you so much.
Thank you.
And now I'd like to pass it over to Rowan to have his final communications update.
Well, thank you. As you're right, school's slowing down, especially for me. I have one foot out the door. But we did have a major, kind of semi-major event over the past 2 weeks. We had Java House, which is an open call talent show. We have at San Marino. We have a lot of hidden singers, the kids that were walking around campus that didn't realize could play the guitar that well or sing. That was impressive to see. But other than that, we had AP testing going on. Students are finishing up. The last test is Friday. And Teacher Appreciation Week. Those teachers were very happy. I could sense that in my lessons. A lot of movies were shown. So that was nice. It's pretty much.
Any big events this weekend?
this weekend. Oh, prom. Prom is.
Oh.
Ready to see.
Mr. Care, what's happening?
But yes, prom is this weekend. It's on the USS Iowa. That's gonna be a blast. But yeah, we're all looking forward to it. And that actually reminds me, we need to start getting ready for that.
Glad to remind you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Dr. De La Torre?
Yes, thank you so much. As you mentioned, President Gill, we are winding down the school year. Everyone is exceedingly busy at each of our 4 schools. The principals are working countless hours. 2 of them are sitting here with us this evening. Thank you so much for being here. We have lots going on through the end of the school year. But this has been a wonderful year, and I think this is a time for reflection on all the things that we have done well and also things that we can continue to improve on in the upcoming year. So we're really excited about what next year has to hold and working with the Board of Education to develop 2026-27 goals, and also with our administrators and our leaders to develop action plans for next year. So we're already thinking about what's to come and really, really excited about that. Wanted to mention that we've made a lot of strides with our Med Arts program at San Marino High School. We have been in conversation with lots of potential sponsors for our internship programs, and we're really excited about that going forward. I will be a judge for the CSBA Golden Bell Awards again this year. This will be my 5th year judging for them, and next year I'm sure we will have at least 2 applications in for SMUSD, which is exciting. But also wanted to mention that we do have, and this is as a side note, we have 2 birthdays that we're going to be celebrating. And that is Mr. Burke's birthday and President Gill's birthday. So happy birthday to you. We had Mother's Day in May, and we also have Memorial Day, and then we have Francesca Gill Day and Carolyn Burke Day to celebrate. So happy birthday to both of you. And with that, I will turn it back over to President Gill.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Sure.
I did say I didn't want to share cake with Rowan, and so I think we have 2 cakes.
After this meeting.
Just because I want more cake for everybody. Anyway, moving on to number 11, information items. Measure M update. I'd like to turn it over to Dr. Stephen Choi to update the board on the progress and current standing of Measure M.
Good evening, President Gill, members of the board, Superintendent Dr. De La Torre, executive team, and the San Marino Unified Community. With just 16 school days remaining in the school year, we are very excited about the summer projects ahead and the continued progress we have been making on our early impact and phase 1 Measure M projects. And while there are many moving parts as we continue through the design process, we are already actively planning for the transition into pre-construction. This has become a daily collaboration with our architects and the bond program management team as we bring our facilities master plan to life. It is hard to believe that it has been about a year since we brought our bond program team on board, and I'm proud to say we have accomplished a great deal in laying down the groundwork during that time. As we prepare for these summer projects, we will also communicate and conduct outreach with neighboring residents at our project sites to help keep them informed about the work ahead and what they can expect over the summer. Last week, we also had the opportunity to meet with the San Marino Schools Foundation to explore naming opportunities for the upcoming Measure M projects. In addition, our Public Information Officer, Ms. Rochelle Meyer, has been hard at work designing project signage that will soon be installed at our project sites. I also want to mention that our Citizens Bond Oversight Committee will be meeting next Thursday at San Marino High School. And at that meeting, we will continue to incorporate campus tours to provide an up-close look. In the case of next week, we'll be looking at the new security fencing, the updated concessions building, as well as the field and track, which is scheduled for replacement this summer. And with that, I will turn it over to Mr. Jim Burlew to provide more details and what's next for Measure M.
Thank you, Dr. Choi. Good evening, President Gill, members of the board, Dr. De La Torre, and executive members of the cabinet. Thank you for having us here tonight. I'm going to try to keep it as short and sweet as I can, not take up too much time this time. So here we go. Okay. So this upcoming week, we have some pre-construction meetings that we're going to be performing for the sites. We're going to be focusing on Valentine Elementary School in Carver. So we will be working with the Zoom Recreation Playground personnel and to talk about their shade structures and playgrounds out at the site and the schedule that we're going to be adhering to. We also have our DSA over the counter for the portables at the high school in Valentine. Those are going to be scheduled for mid-July to go to DSA. And we're pushing to make sure that the portables and everything get put into the sites this summer. So. As of today, we have 18 projects that we are working on in one stage or another. We have over 103 requests for proposals that we're working on and about $111 million worth of RFPs that are in the works today. So these are the projects. So with all the projects have many bids that go underneath them, so that's where the projects come in. And these are kind of a quick look of the projects to date and the budgets that we have with the different RFPs that are underneath each and every one of them. And that's where it comes out to be the $111 million so far.
What's the top, just M items, $899?
So Measure M, that's where we capture some of the RFPs that are kind of district-wide, like CEQA, things that are not specific to a certain site. It's like everybody. So we put them in there to catch all those. Good question.
So 110 million that consider is for the phase one budget, right? Or
this is many projects. This has 18 projects and over 100 requests for proposals. So this is through the whole district, just different projects and different RFPs that we're doing, sir. Yeah. Does that answer your question?
Yes, yeah.
We have gone through the leaseback process to interview our leaseback contractor. The recommendation that's going to the board is for Balfour Beatty to get all 3 projects at the district. They came out to be the best value for the district after the full evaluation and interview. And the next step after board approval is they will begin their pre-construction services at the 3 different campuses. And that would be it. Anybody have any questions?
Questions from the board? Anyone?
Okay, thank you.
I think Mr. Chang says.
Yes, sir.
To speak about the San Marino High School, so the west side, you know, after you pass the speech debate classroom, so they have a parking, right?
Up there, yeah.
Yeah, next to the wash, right? So we haven't addressed how we want to update about the parking, that parking lot, or and also because in the future is that there will be a fence, right? So then, so how design whose car, teacher or staff, the inside or outside?
Yeah, Mr. Chang is
the
asking a
security
very important
issue, yeah.
question, which is something that we had actually discussed. I think it was late last week. The design hasn't been finalized yet in terms of what we plan to do and with the driveway along the West Drive. There is currently 2 lanes going in and out, and then there is an aisle of parking spaces along the curb on the west side close by the fence. And as we are working with the architects, we had a discussion in terms of what we are going to do in terms of either widening it so that we can maximize the use of space on that drive aisle more to the fence on the left, in combination with how we're going to look at the design of the building. So as we are working with the architects, we are looking specifically at the footprint of that building. So it hasn't been finalized yet. We don't want to remove too many parking spots. In fact, we want to ensure that the flow going in and out is addressed. But more importantly, we are looking at pedestrian access. That is very important because the current building has a walkway, right? And as we are looking at the design of the new building, we want to ensure that there's sufficient and safe access to the back parts of the campus so that we can incorporate. Perhaps we're looking at some possibilities of having a walkway, side walkway on the left side, but we have to work with the architects to incorporate that.
So I walk through this street, and then I'm thinking about this issue because I think it's the time for administration to think about in the future whose car will park inside, right? Because then if in and out, how we control for the gate.
Yeah, we're looking at a number of options to have the ability to control, access control, which vehicles can go in and out. Currently, tentatively, our conceptual designs incorporate a gate that would open depending on, for example, if a car's license plate is registered in our system, it would be able to open. We know we have buses that go in and out of there. There's a lot of traffic that goes through that access point. So we're well aware of some of the challenges there.
Is there sufficient student parking on the east side?
So that is also a question that was raised, and I believe we have to do some data gathering to.
Because I'm
assess
just
that.
wondering if there would just be no student access on that side or not. I mean, if we move all, like more staff up that way
Yeah.
and the front lot could, I don't know.
Yeah, we have to do not so much a traffic study, but more like a parking study.
Survey, yeah.
Yeah. We've been leveraging some of our tools. We do have
Are there
cameras.
spots open? Are there spots open?
I actually have a question. With the portable classrooms on the blacktop, what are you guys thinking of doing during like football games, baseball games,
They're staying.
or like
They're there.
anything? Is that,
Oh, because they're all parked up there.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I park to go to. football
Everyone
games,
parks.
Park on the blacktop.
Yeah. We actually just talked about that today. So we're also looking at some options of placing the portables at an alternative location as well. We have some options. But I don't think we're prepared to share that today, but we have a couple of options. Yeah.
Right. Okay, well, we'll look forward to those options.
Yeah, this is an interesting topic that one of the community member brought it. Do we have even an option to utilize the roof space, like a rooftop
For,
in the building rooftop?
I mean, utilize the roof for what?
For like any, like a multi-purpose, like outdoor activity or something like that?
Oh, like an outdoor,
Yeah.
kind of like a rooftop terrace
Like a deck,
or something like
a
that.
deck.
On new build, I assume, sir.
Yeah,
Um,
just utilizing like some outdoor place for the, like a building, the engineer, like a robot building or something that they need the space, some closed, but they don't need to be indoor, right?
So
Those kind of space.
I would want to look into that further for the purposes of safety. I don't know if I want kids on the roof.
I mean, is it dangerous? I mean, I don't know. So
Yeah, but in terms of robotics and ability for space for the robotics team to work, it's part of our design as we designed this the site plan. You'll see that there actually are some really big doors that open up and provide access to the quad area as well. So it's really
but
well
if
thought
they
out.
want to do drone, something like that, then they need the out space anyway. You know, I'm just asking, can we maximize the real estate space?
I think that they are looking into having more creative outdoor learning spaces for students. But yeah, not necessarily on the roof, but in alternate ways.
Yeah, roofing, the roof area, we can't utilize it for students at all. There'd be so many things we'd have to put up there just for safety, alarms, notifications. But what we do try to utilize some of the roofs for new buildings for with the code requirements today is we do try to see if we can put solar on the top if it's acceptable to the district. So it's usually either rooftops or you put them on slopes or you put them in carports out in the parking lot. Those are kind of the options we have, but we're required to do that by DSA to put solar in. So we have to figure out where to get them, where to put them.
But I think, we are aware of the fact that outdoor spaces for students are becoming increasingly more important and valuable. And so our architects are looking at that. I know that Dr.
Mr. Burley will get those options as well.
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
And also, have you thinking for the cover the wash and increase the parking space? You know, before Catherine Barger became the county supervisor, so we did try to approach the Mike and Tomich. She is at the county, they can do something, resolve for the wash issue. So just cover and then you may want to do the follow-up. Maybe the chance is rare, but yeah.
I believe we did explore that option, or at least the Facilities Advisory Committee did years ago to see if it was feasible to build parking over the wash, because I've seen that application being done in neighboring cities. However, I think at the time there was input and feedback that did not want to pursue that possibility, but can always bring it up to the architects again and see if that's something that might be an option for us. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. The proposed elementary textbook adoption. I would like to turn it over to Dr. Lena Richter to present the proposed elementary science textbook adoption.
Thank you, President Gill, members of the board, Student Board Member Burke, Superintendent Dr. Delatorre, and Executive Cabinet. Tonight is my pleasure to present to the board information item 11B, which is an overview of San Marino Unified's recommendation for proposed science curriculum adoption for grades TK through 5. We go to the second slide, please. The purpose of this presentation is for our staff this evening to provide an overview of the curriculum adoption process the San Marino Unified School District engaged in over the past years, highlight the work that's been accomplished by the Curriculum Study Committee, and lastly, share proposed curriculum adoption costs. The final item on this presentation will be presenting to the board a recommendation for adoption. Before we begin, I would be remiss if I did not acknowledge and thank our amazing Science Curriculum Study Committee, also known as our Piloting Committee, who spent countless hours reviewing, piloting, and evaluating curriculum to ensure that it meets the rigorous needs of all of our San Marino Unified students and teachers. This was an all-embracing process, and they did an absolute phenomenal job. I would also be remiss if I did not thank and recognize Penny Roberts, our Ed Services teacher on special assignment, for all her work in supporting and organizing the adoption process to best support our amazing teachers throughout this journey. Her work leading this adoption committee has been an invaluable asset in helping our Curriculum Study Committee select only the best curriculum for our staff and our students. Next slide, please. San Marino Unified followed the curriculum adoption process, which includes 6 steps. These steps are, in essence, marshaled the convening of a curriculum study committee composed of subject matter experts to review adoption procedures and processes, review curricular needs, explore and evaluate state-approved curriculum options, and select a curriculum to pilot. Upon completion of the pilot, they engaged in curriculum evaluation using a state-recommended rubric, and lastly, recommended a curriculum for piloting. In compliance with Education Code, prior to adoption, the proposed curriculum was made available for the community as a public review and allowed an opportunity for feedback. These opportunities were here at the district office, Carver, and Valentine Elementary, because it was TK through grades 5. This process took place January 14th through February 14th. No feedback was submitted throughout this window of time. And the final step, which brings us to this evening, where a public hearing is being held for the proposed science curriculum adoption. Next slide. For the next couple of slides, I would like to invite up our amazing teacher, Ms. Tina Fong, Carver teacher, and a critical member of the Science Curriculum Study Committee, supported by our elementary principals, to provide us with a brief yet analogous overview of the process, followed by Penny Roberts, our teacher on special assignment, who was instrumental in leading this charge. So Ms. Fong, thank you for being here and sharing your expertise and your experience, and I'm going to turn it over to you now.
Great. Thank you so much. Good evening, board members and administrators. Excuse me, I thought I would be getting over my nerves, but as you know, I'm used to speaking in front of 8 and 9-year-olds who typically are this tall and who usually laugh at everything I say. So before I begin the presentation, I just wanted to introduce myself really quickly. My name is Tina, or also known as Mrs. Fong, and I am a Valentine parent, but a teacher at Carver, and a very proud graduate of San Marino. And today I'm here to share with you what we have been working on as part of the Science Adoption Committee. And as an elementary school teacher, I find it's really important to make these connections for my students in their learning. So as I reflected on this process, I couldn't help but think of this very famous and popular fairy tale. So hopefully with the next slide, it'll give you not just a visual, but a better understanding. So as you know, it's been several years, and we've tried on many different shoes, and some actually we thought would fit. And finally, I am happy to announce that we are adopting. Actually, sorry, just kidding. Not this puppy. That's actually what my twin daughters probably are hoping to adopt. Not as cute as a puppy, but just as exciting. We are proposing to adopt STEM scopes. Hopefully the slippers that do fit. And then how did we come across to this decision to adopt STEM scopes? Well, as I mentioned many moons ago, when we first started this process, bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, we met as a committee, and we looked at actually quite a lot of publishers. And we actually did come to one in particular called TCI, Teachers Curriculum Institute. We thought it was the one, but actually after trying it out in the classrooms, the teachers decided it really actually was not the right fit. So we started the process again, but this time under Penny, our wonderful TOSA, and she started us off by this time asking us to fill out a survey, really to hone in on what we are looking for as teachers in the science program. And after that, we then we met and we looked over some more materials that we actually never got to see the first time around. And as you could see, the next step, we met again and we narrowed it down to 3. And then we finally chose one, Cinderella. But after that, we were very grateful. We were able to get the publishers from STEMscope to come out and train us. And the committee consisted of teachers from all the way from kinder to 5th grade, and we even included some teachers in the MDLI program. And once we did that, we piloted in our classrooms for several weeks. And then after President's Week, we actually got a chance at one of our professional developments to meet with the publishers again. And we were able to communicate with them some of our concerns, what worked, what didn't, and they were great at answering our questions and helping us out, providing us with more resources. And so after that, we discussed again as a committee, we met again, discussed again, and then finally, after spring break, when we met, we made the decision. Yay! And here are just some of the things, sorry, this is different from my slides, but typically I was gonna show you at one time at a time. But these are just some of the comments that the teachers have said about the program so far that we liked. One teacher said that it was the amount of digital resources that we could edit and modify. A lot of our teachers are actually tech savvy, and we'd like to teach using some of the PowerPoints, and the program actually provides that for us, so we don't have to start from ground up. Some of the other teachers mentioned the visual glossary and the different tools to help differentiate, not just for the EL students, but to meet the needs of all of our kids. And then we also like the inquiry-based hands-on learning and the exploration activities. A lot of the students found them to be very enjoyable. And what's nice is some of the explorations is not just one, but you have several. So there's differentiation in that. Another teacher mentioned the variety of assessments and having the options on the needs, especially for fifth grade teachers because they get tested in science. They have the CER models, there's the multiple choice, and even open-ended questions, which is how students are tested for state testing. Another teacher mentioned how, for us as teachers, we try to fit in what we can in the curriculum, but we sometimes also don't want to feel overwhelmed. And what's nice about this program is that over at the top right, you could see that's just a map of how this program actually allows us just to teach essential lessons, which are highlighted in blue. And if we just teach those lessons also for short on time, for some reason, we hit all the standards that need to be taught. Another teacher mentioned that the website is actually very user-friendly. There's not a lot of moving parts. And then, of course, there's the last one on the bottom that mentions that there are videos from the BBC. We talked about not Mystery Science because that's the one we've been using, but the streaming videos that they have on STEM Scopes are just as amazing and help supplement the lessons. And if you don't know, teachers also love to talk about food and eat. And so we have an analogy that like STEM Scopes is like a buffet. You get to pick and choose what you want to teach, and you can differentiate it and make it your own. And of course, there's so much more. And what's even better news is that middle school has actually already been using this program, and they love it. In fact, we had a middle school teacher, Penny invited her to come to our staff meeting, and she shared and highlighted some of the aspects of the program that the middle school teachers have found to be very helpful. What's also nice is that if we were to adopt this program, it would be a really smooth transition for fifth graders when they enter the middle school. And also, really, truly, what's been so nice is Penny Artosa. She's actually already been working with the publishers. And a good example of this is that during our very last meeting when we finally decided to go with STEM Scopes, we still had some questions and concerns. And she took down all of that and emailed them. And within hours, they actually reached out and they were able to answer all of our questions. And I have to say for, typically such a big publishing company, you don't get this kind of customer service. So that was really impressive. And so as Dr. Leonard had already mentioned about the adoption process, we had the program with all of the materials available at all the school sites in the front office so that not only the staff could see it, but the parents also had a period to preview it. And then here we are, just waiting for the stamp of approval from the board. And once the board members approve it, this is what's to come in our plan. And for the teachers, we're looking for PDs, not just one PD, but professional developments, multiple of them. And I like to use emojis when I text. So when I heard that we were going to be given time, that's how I felt. And it's not just time to view the materials beforehand, it was time to collaborate. So not with just the grade levels that we have, but also across both sites. And it's so valuable when we hear that teachers are going to be given the time to be comfortable with the material. And something that also really stuck with me when listening to this whole process was the expectations that we have for teachers when implementing this were very practical. And so it felt less overwhelming and less daunting. And I think I just want to end this really quickly by saying a good teacher can teach any lesson no matter what. They're going to add their flair, they're going to make it engaging. But when a teacher is given good material, that's what makes learning impactful. So I'm really excited about this program. And when I shared this presentation with my colleagues, I just wanted to end it with this quote, which is, change is hard at first, messy in the middle, and gorgeous at the end. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Ms. Bond.
Let's give her another round of applause. thank you again for coming to present, because I got to see her presentation at the elementaries, and I really wanted her to come. Okay, so as it's kind of been already shared with excitement, for 3 years, the committee has been working on coming to this decision. And I really appreciated with all the teachers that participated in a pilot, they took their time to find something that they really liked. And to see them excited now that they found, the curriculum that they want to use, is, if they're excited, the kids are going to be excited. So these are all the different main points or meetings that they had to come to this over a 3-year process. In the pictures, these are STEM Scopes experiments. There's one where they planted a seed in a Ziploc bag and taped it to a window, and then they had to watch and take notes as scientists to see what happened each day and chart it on a graph. And then you can see that their experiments are really fun. They were outside kicking a ball, and this is all related to science. So they have really highly engaging science experiments, which is part of the reason that everybody enjoys this program, both kids, teachers, everyone. So as we get to the next stage here, when they got to the process of evaluating and casting their vote, on the left-hand side, they had the science framework standards that they looked at in order to be a CDE approved curriculum or material. That was the recommended rubric. And then after we looked at that rubric, we decided as a group, we also need to figure out what's good for San Marino and what is good for our students and teachers. And so teachers commented they wanted to make sure that something, the material was engaging, that there was instructional organization to the material, that there were universal access that we were making sure we hit upon for all students, that it had assessments built in to save time for teachers, and that it had the science and lab kits available. And so we had a second rubric that we did personalized to what our staff felt that they needed. And so that's on this side. And then when you total all that together, they got a rating of 82% overall for teachers. And I'd like to note that our lowest area, which was universal access, which could be ELD students and special education students. For those that don't know me, I'm a TOSA now, but I did teach over at Huntington Middle School for 21 years as a special education teacher. And what some of the STEM Scope piloting teachers haven't gotten to yet, or other teachers that haven't had the training yet, is there are a whole bunch of really neat special ed in-depth opportunities and ELD opportunities, but in a piloting process where you're just doing a little sampling of the program and doing some of the lessons, they didn't get that deep into it. So I know that that score also would be higher if they had had the training on that, but that will come. But so even if that, stands out to you as a concern, it's really not a concern. Trust me when I say, like, they have so much for special ed and ELD. It just wasn't the focus of when a pilot. We were just trying to get the lesson going and understand how things worked in the system. And that brings us to the big presentation here of the money. So the prices that you see here will include and I had the teachers select per grade. We wanted Carver and Valentine to select the same thing for first grade, same thing for second grade. But in the essence of the team coming together, they decided to all take the exact same thing. So they've made it really easy. They didn't have to they could have picked and choose from the menu of their dream list of things they want. So everybody would like the digital access, which gives them access to also the digital assessments that are in there. The nice thing about those is when a student takes a test on that, it's already scored for the teacher. So sometimes they don't have to grade all the assessments. The K-5, they're textbooks. So everyone's going to get a hard textbook that'll remain in the classes for the next 7 years if you approve this adoption. They also get workbooks. The workbooks are consumable, so that means every year they have to be reordered, but with the price that you see here, it's included in that price for the next 7 years. So it won't be coming back to you for more money on workbooks. It's part of this price. The teacher guidebooks, obviously we want the teacher to have the master textbook with them. Science kits, what makes science different than kind of all the other adoptions is that experiments cost more. There's a different cost than some of the other subjects that you just have a textbook, for example, in. This, we have to buy equipment, we have to set up equipment, we have to buy replacements for that equipment. So they wanted the science kits for that. If we do the 7-year adoption, STEM Scopes is trying to also work with us. They're going to give us the BBC videos that normally are an additional cost to us for free for the 7 years, as something that I negotiated with them, that they had to give us something if we were going to do this big thing. So we don't have to pay for that, but it is something the teachers asked for. So I'm glad that we could get that for free in the cost. So there's the cost for Carver and Valentine. The difference is just the teachers at the site and the number of students per site. To your total of the 490,000. And then TK teachers saw the excitement and the hype of STEM Scopes, and this was presented all at a faculty meeting, and they got very excited, and they reached out and said, what about us? We want something for their TK. And we're like, you guys want TK science? And they said, we want TK science. So then I went back to STEM Scopes and said, what do you have for TK? And they have 2 different programs. So then I sent out a survey to the 7 TK teachers at both sites, where they got to answer questions about what they use now, what they want to use, what they're looking for in a TK program. And then they selected the Early Explore STEM Scopes program. And that's done by the same publishing company, but it will work slightly different than all the other programs because they're trying to make it addressed for the TK level, where there isn't a digital component, for example. They're all more hands-on, fun little experiments and activities. And so then that's the price for the $4,900 for the 7 years for them to have the access to that. It also comes with math access. So they get that as a bonus, TK bonus, because it just is part of the package, because they wanted it to be full science and math STEM experience. So it comes with that. So the thing I'm most excited about is the teachers worked really hard for 3 years to come to this place. They're very excited. I haven't heard people this excited about curriculum in a really long time. So I'm excited. And so we hope that you can approve it and be as excited as we are about it. And I think the alignment from now could be, if you vote for this, approve this, TK through 8th grade, because last year I helped the middle school with their decision in science, and they went with STEM Scopes as well. And it just worked out that the shoe that fit San Marino fit both at the middle and at the elementary. So we now have one shoe. That being said, I want to, before I'm done, and thank everybody again, I want the principals to come up and share their experience or anything they would like to add about what they saw their teachers go through, and I'll let you guys come up and.
Hard to follow, Tina, I have to say. And good evening, President Gill, Superintendent De La Torre, esteemed board members and cabinet. It was a pleasure to watch the teachers wrestle with all of the curriculum across these multiple years. And they really put a lot of hard work into that. Really have to lift Penny up again. I know Dr. Richter did that, but man, she really worked hard with the committees and led with the same positivity that you saw just right here. She did that the whole time through with all of this work. Our teachers really dove in. They asked the critical questions. As Penny shared, they're excited about doing that. Implementing the curriculum, should the board approve it. Whitney and I are very excited about that possibility, and we really want to thank all the committee members who gave countless time. It's hard for a teacher to miss class and write lesson plans to do this work. So the fact that they carved out so much time to do that really tells us that they value the work that they're doing, that they're excited about picking a curriculum that matters, and looking forward to diving in and doing good things. Ms. Fong was a little bit nervous about coming up here, but man, I watched her and I thought she is a natural at doing this work because she's speaking from the heart, and that was all the way through. So it is our honor to be able to support our wonderful teachers in doing this work.
Thank you, Super. He summed up quite a bit there, and truly we are very thankful for our teachers and for our TOSAs in this process. It's been a long process, but we're at a point where we're confident that this is a program that our students deserve to have because of the rigor, because of the lessons that they have. I went and observed lessons, and to see the engagement was such a change from the current curriculum that we have, where it's really just, a play and go and videos. Like this was so hands-on, so engaging, and the kids were having so much fun. And when you can have fun when you're learning, it makes such a difference, especially at the elementary level, because that's what they're going to remember. So I'm very thankful to our team, and I hope that we can move forward with approval of this curriculum. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I would just like to say I appreciate you having, like, I don't, courage, self-confidence to, when it wasn't right, to go back to the drawing board, because I know that some things, I mean, the whole process is so arduous that you could have just pushed it through and, just lived with it. But I really appreciate that you took the time to get it right for the teachers, for the kids. So thank you. Any other comments, questions?
Yeah, I think this curriculum adoption is very important. But speak about the cost. Can you analyze, for the existing curriculum now to transfer to the adoption? So is that how much the budget we have to increase or the?
So the current curriculum that we're using, I would have to go back. We've been using that for quite some time. So the cost, I would have to go back and analyze to see what that would entail. For this one, although it is about $490,000, it does encompass both elementary schools, TK through 5th grade. So we're talking over 80 teachers. It's for every grade level across the board, unlike the science curriculum that we adopted at middle school, which was only for our science teachers. So of course the cost was a lot lower, but this cost is for a 7-year adoption with all of the materials, the consumables included. The only thing we would have to fund would be the science kits that we would have to replenish the materials and things, manipulatives every year if need be. But it's for the entire elementary staff. So you're talking TK through grade 5 at both schools. Whereas last year, the cost was a little bit lower, but we were only looking at science teachers at the middle school, at Huntington Middle School. This includes every teacher on campus at both Carver and Valentine Elementary.
So the cost charge is by school site or by the enrollment, the kid enrollment?
The cost is by the number of students and teachers at every school site.
Students.
Yes, correct. But we did get, thanks to Penny, we always talked about, every time Penny came to me, I was like, can you negotiate? Can you negotiate? Can you negotiate? And she did a phenomenal job of negotiating, getting some of the items like the BBC videos for free, getting the, what was the other thing that you got? Oh, for the TK, we got that also at a discounted cost. The other TK program, I believe, was 42,000. This one's only 4,700. So Penny, and we got some professional development at no cost and at discounted cost. And so we've really worked hard, Penny, especially with the publishers, to, if we're going to adopt or recommend to adopt STEM scopes, we wanted to make sure that we were fiscally sound and responsible as well. But we knew how important it was to have that TK through 8 alignment so that our students can continue to thrive. And part of our professional development plan that we're going to roll out next year is really giving our teachers the opportunity to not only collaborate within their grade level, but to collaborate with the grade level below them and the grade level above them. So you have that vertical articulation. And so your instruction and your lesson plans spiral. So develop a scope and sequence so our students continue to learn as they matriculate through the grade levels through grade 8.
Yeah, thank you. My suggestion, I think at least the money we have to spend, but I don't know is that we can apply to the Rotary mini grant, the fund.
So we,
for each
Dr.
year, for the 7 year.
So Dr. Choi and I have been talking, and there are funds available. We will be using the remaining balance of our arts, music, instructional materials block grant. We have a balance there that will offer an allowable expense for curriculum across the board for all subject areas. We also are looking at unrestricted general fund as well. And then there's one more pot of money that you have identified that would also serve, if need be, to utilize for curriculum adoption.
I think it sounds great. You guys have a this obligation
towards it as
to get the extra fund to cover. Yeah. That's great. Yeah.
Yes.
I want to thank your team, your teachers for the dedication and hard work. That really, it really takes leadership to take this on. I do want some clarification. So the program is one-time costs and it's going to span for 7 years,
Correct.
correct? This is the one-time cost. And so in elementary, are you having each of your teachers teach science, or is it by grade level? There's a fifth grade teacher that just handles all the science for all the kids, or it's every teacher is teaching science and using this curriculum?
Every single teacher on campus at Carver and Valentine, TK through grade 5, will have a set of curriculum textbooks, consumables, and all the other resources that are listed under there. They all teach science.
Okay, and then did they give any data in terms of what the outcome might be in terms of evaluating the program for its success rate and how it aligns with the NGSS, as well as how does it align to the upper grade levels? Like up in the high school, how does this prepare our kids to go to physics and chemistry and all of that?
So I'll speak to the NGSS alignment first. One of the most attractive features of STEM scopes was its strong alignment with NGSS. That is something that we looked at from the very beginning, starting 3 years ago, is finding a curriculum, a strong curriculum that really embeds the NGSS standards, the next generation science standards. And this last year, through the adoption at the middle school, we've gotten favorable reviews and data with regards to the level of student engagement, the level of student productivity with regards to the curriculum that they've adopted, which is STEM scopes. We strongly believe, based not only on what our evaluation of the rubric was, but also doing our homework and looking at other school districts, high achieving school districts that also use STEM scopes, really understanding the alignment from elementary to middle to high school and how well it prepares students, because you have that spiraling curriculum where students are on that continuum of learning. It's not a segmented science curriculum. It spirals and it scaffolds throughout the years. And that really sets up a very strong foundation for our students to be successful in high school as well. Because in high school, you know, they have the very different science courses that they're, you know, taking, and AP as well. And
so is this, sorry, Mr. Chang, let me just finish, okay? So the word STEM, right? We know that it includes math, engineering, technology, all of that. Does this curriculum integrate the skill sets for each of those? Okay,
yes,
so
absolutely.
It does do that. And then finally, the training for the teachers, the safety aspect, like I haven't looked at the actual labs, but are the teachers going to be trained? Does it come with the teacher training? So if a teacher's using the curriculum and they have some questions, is there some sort of platform for them to go get somebody to help guide them, or do they help us with ordering the materials for the lab? I mean, what are some additional supports that this purchase for?
So that was one thing that we set as a priority as we were looking for potential curriculum, is once we make a selection for piloting and then making a recommendation for adoption, is we wanted to ensure that our teachers felt supported. We wanted to ensure that our teachers received the ongoing PD necessary training, because this is an entirely new curriculum. And that was some of the feedback that we got as we were vetting. And Penny, I'll let you speak to a little bit more if you will. As we were vetting it, it was like, this is so much, this is too much, this is a lot, there are different components to it. And any curriculum that you're going to pick up is going to be new. And so it is going to be challenging. It's going to be a learning curve. And so we wanted to make sure that if we are investing the time to go through this process, if we're investing the funding to purchase new curriculum, we wanted to make sure that it was done with fidelity. We wanted to make sure that our teachers felt comfortable with the curriculum, comfortable enough to implement it as it should be implemented. And so we met today for 4 hours, planning out a sequence of professional learning specifically for science and how we're going to support our teachers from August all the way through the end of next year and beyond, so that they can have the opportunity, number one, to explore the curriculum, number two, to engage in scope and sequence or pacing guides, not only with their grade levels, but grade levels on both ends, and create a curriculum where they feel comfortable implementing.
Last question, Mr. Chang. I apologize. So differentiation, right? We talked a little bit about our EL students, our special ed students, and what about our top performing students? How does it drill down or drill up in terms of differentiating instruction for those students?
So I'm going to let you answer that, but before you do, I want to just share a little bit. Any curriculum that we currently have or will have in the future, one of the beauties of the initiative that we've implemented over the last 4 years is truly differentiation of instruction. An acronym for it is Universal Design for Learning. And that really begs the 4 questions. What do we want our students to learn? How do we know if they're learning it? What do we do if they haven't learned it, which would be the additional support and reinforcement? And what do we do if they have learned it? That would be the enrichment and the challenge for our students. And so that would apply not only to science, but all the other curriculum that is being provided in our classrooms. And if you want to talk a little bit more about the enrichment piece within the experiments.
Yeah, and NGSS, how it's approached is a totally new way to teach science that some of our teachers are not familiar with. And this program makes it an easy way to roll out where the basis is the students are the scientists and they are discovering the knowledge that helps them understand what science is doing. And so their science experiments are the hook and the fun. But for example, even at the kindergarten level, they took snowballs, teachers ahead of time filled a balloon with water so that it was an ice ball. They then popped the balloon and they have a perfect ice ball. And the kids made a snowman out of stacking up balls of these ice. And then they had to, in a journal, be scientists and watch what happened when it sat out. And of course, the snowman is going to melt. And so even at a lower, kindergarten level or TK level, they were being the scientists and they were telling and discovering what was going to happen with that instead of someone telling them or watching a video on that. So that's kind of a different approach, is the NGSS standards and the way that they're doing, they present the material within this program. And then within it, electronically and so forth, the part that our teachers haven't gotten a chance to experience so much is there's a whole bunch of visuals and all these supports that are built in that help our ELDs, that help our special education students. And there's things that can talk to them within the system and they're built in. We just didn't get there because of the time constraints that we had. But we will get there with this training, and so forth moving forward. So they'll have that opportunity. And then we have our UDL, Universal Design Learning, that we're doing already, where we're differentiating any material that comes through, not just a program that, itself, any curriculum we have. We've been working on that. And then we're rolling out as TOSAs next year, an ELD training and support for people. So there's also going to be more of that, more support of how we can help our ELD students, which will be also something that can be applied to science. But because of so much of the science being hands-on and visual, it already meets a lot of the needs of students just because they're touching, they're feeling, they're hearing. They're having a whole experience.
Yeah, no, my question just really wanted to focus on real world application. So once you've journaled and you're a scientist, how do we elevate that experience? How do we help the students to see that, not only am I a scientist, but how do I take this exploration to the next level? Because as we saw today, we have a number of students that just number 19 in the nation in terms of science, right? I mean, he's U.S. Olympiad. So 20th in the world. And so 20th, not 19th in the world. 20th in the world. So we have these really high performing students, as well as we need to make sure that we address the needs of all students. So I just wanted to ask that question.
It's an excellent question. And one of the things that STEM Scopes embraces very well is inquiry-based learning, project-based learning, which is that real-world application, allowing students to go at their own pace, but also allowing students to go farther because they're hands-on, which is really nice.
So does it mean that even if it's same grade, if it's a high performing student, they're gonna get the different assignment?
No, not different assignment. It may be modified a little bit to differentiate the instruction to meet the student's needs, but that's what we do that's what, not we, but our teachers do that on a daily basis across all subject areas. To make the curriculum accessible to our students, to meet them where they are, and then elevate them from that point. They're still responsible for learning the standards and getting through the curriculum, but the approach, the instruction may be modified as far as the way it's being represented, or allowing students to express mastery of the standards in a different way, as long as you're able to tell that the student really learned the objective of the lesson, but they can demonstrate it in a variety of different ways.
Yeah, I mean, the two addresses, Ms. Ryan, I mean, I'm a little bit familiar with the chemistry Olympiad. More than likely, the kids that made to the national level, he probably memorized the periodic table in the third grade already.
Could be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
could be.
So my challenge is if he learning the same material as the rest of the peer, right? For him, it's not going to be challenging enough. It's going to be bored out pretty much. So my question is do you have an opportunity to differentiate it out that high performing kids have a separate curriculum or they're in the same grade, or is there such options there that they can adjust the speed? It depends on each kid's level.
Right. Yes, the buffet menu that the teachers were that we were sharing allows teachers to, they have the base standard, but they can take it very rigorously if they want to. That was one thing that was really important to the teachers, that they wanted something that had, I want to say, San Marino rigor, that had that opportunity to push students, but also was fun. And so that's the bonus that you get with this one, is that you have the opportunity to make it more rigorous, but the experiments themselves are so fun that helps keep all students engaged within it.
So how many school districts already adopt for this new curriculum?
Well, we didn't look at how many in total adopted. We look at the high performing school districts so one very particular school district that we compare ourselves with uses STEM Scopes, and they're a very high performing district. La Cañada. I didn't want to say.
We got to graduate.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
And they found great success with it. In speaking with their administrators and some of their teachers on special assignment, yes.
How long have they been on it already?
Do you remember how many years they've adopted
I feel like
it?
they've been maybe 2 or 3. It's
three,
very newer for them. Yeah.
How long has this been around for, this company or this program?
Quite some time.
Yeah, I would have to look it up.
Yeah.
I don't know that
Not like
answer.
a startup or.
No, it's not a startup.
It's Accelerated Learning Company is the company. STEM Scopes is just one of the branches that they have, because they do curriculum for math and other subjects as well. So.
Well, thank you so
Thank
much.
you, thank
Does
you.
anyone else have any?
Well, I want to send back Cleveland 1 more year in the Valentine. It's so exciting news. So thank you so much.
I think he might have something to say about that.
Yeah. Do you guys ever involved in the tech departments, that how tech support works? And you know, that I want to make sure that the support is good for the tech department side as well. Was a committee was ever involved on it?
Yeah, definitely. A lot of these pilots they let us know ahead of time, so we are amply prepared beforehand. We offload student accounts, all of that stuff.
Okay.
But yeah, definitely we support all the pilots all the time.
That's good. You just didn't find out today, right?
No.
I'm just
Penny
We went
comes
through that
all the
together.
time.
It's like,
I bug them a lot. They have to help us with the piloting. They have to do the accounts for the piloting. So they get a warning a little bit with that, because they have to help the teachers with the piloting process first and getting access to stuff, and the students that need it for just piloting, which gives us practice. Like, does it even work for our tech department? Is it, and those kinds of things in our systems we already have. And then when they, we go to adopt, then they've already done it with a small population, of 10 accounts, and now they're going to do with 80 accounts. So they had the practice run, and now they get the full run.
Is this something that's in Clever, or is it, did they access it through Clever?
Yes.
Yeah,
It's through Clever.
So it's still easier transitions.
Yeah, so
from the
it's all-
tech point of view.
I think it is important that everything's in the same place.
And it comes with that assessment piece that it comes with, also has more rigorous assessments you can give within it as well. So that is always an option too, some of those components that it has.
But I do want to give a shout out to our teachers who are in the classroom, because I think with any curriculum, given the different levels of performance and what students bring, their levels that they bring to the classroom, from day one, our teachers are masters in their craft, and they're able to provide curriculum where all of our students, whether it's an English learner, a student with an IEP, or a student who is, exceeding standards and working at a different grade level, providing them curriculum and accessibility through differentiating that instruction to meet their needs. And I think they've always done that at every grade level. And we see that when we do our instructional walkthroughs. We walk in and we see groups of students, small group instruction, where every student is getting what they need to be successful. We don't want to keep our students down. We don't want to keep our students struggling too hard. We want to meet them where they are and elevate them from there. And our teachers do a fantastic job of that.
So to have a comprehensive thinking. So next question, Dr. Choi. So the first one, the build a classroom for the Valentine and element and the cover. Is that we just build a classroom, or we may have to do some accessory or equipment device put into to support for the new teaching?
As part of the design process, we have the opportunity to work with teachers, and the teachers have been providing input in terms of how they'd like classrooms laid out. So we rely on a lot of input as we design the classrooms. So as far as calling out anything specific for science rooms, we're trying to establish a standard. So obviously we work very closely with Ed Services. We have an Ed Specs document that we refer when we're designing these new facilities. So it's going to be an ongoing dialogue as well as the instructional materials may evolve and tools evolve. We'll maintain that standard. So.
Yeah, I love the look of that, because it almost looks like we need the inside out classrooms to do some of these activities. It's very exciting, especially for our primary grades. So thank you so much for bringing this to us.
Thank you.
And that concludes that. Section 12, consent. Do I have a motion to approve the consent section 12A through 12G?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you so much. Roll call, Mr. Chang,
Aye.
Mr. Sung,
Aye.
Ms. Lamb,
Aye.
Mrs. Ryan,
Aye.
Mrs. Gill, aye, and Student Board Member Burke. Thank you. 13, thank you, good night. Action items. I'd like to now turn it over to Superintendent Dr. De La Torre for approval of the proposed 26-27 Board of Education regular meeting dates.
Thank you, President Gill, members of the Board of Education. Executive team, this evening we present for your approval the proposed Board of Education meeting dates for the 2025-26 school year. You see them up there on the screen. Board meetings are scheduled for the second and fourth Tuesdays of each month, except November, December, February, and April due to holiday scheduling. We only have one meeting on those particular months.
Wonderful. Any questions from the board or comments? Okay, if not, is there a motion to approve the proposed 26-27 Board of Education regular meeting dates?
Move to approve.
May I have a second, please?
Second.
Second.
Oh, thank you, Ms. Lamb, Mr. Chang. Roll call, Mr. Sung. I'm sorry, this is in the wrong order. Mr. Chang,
Aye.
Mr. Sung,
Aye.
Ms. Lamb,
Aye.
Mrs. Ryan,
Aye.
Mrs. Gill, aye, and Student Board Member Burke. Thank you. Now I'd like to turn it over to Dr. Jason Rose to present the Declaration of Need for Fully Qualified Educators.
All right, thank you, President Gill, Board of Education, Superintendent Dr. De La Torre, Executive Cabinet, and Student Board Member Burke. The Declaration of Need is an annual document required by an employing local education agency, otherwise known as an LEA, as a prerequisite to the issuance of any emergency permit and/or limited assignment permit for that agency. At this time, we do have a few certificated openings, and while we are extremely confident those positions will be filled, this would allow us a safety net in the case of an emergency. It is recommended that the board approve and authorize the district to submit the declaration of need for the 2026-2027 school year.
Do you have any questions? All right, if not, may I have a motion to approve the declaration of need for fully qualified educators?
So moved.
Second, please.
Second.
Thank you, Mrs. Ryan. Ms. Lamb? Roll call, Mr. Chang?
Aye.
Mr. Sung?
Aye.
Ms. Lamb?
Aye.
Mrs. Ryan?
Aye.
Mrs. Gill, aye. And Student Board Member Burke?
Aye.
Thank you. Now I'd like to turn it over to Dr. Choi to present resolution number 11, Delinquent Tax Program Renewal for approval.
Thank you, President Gill, members of the board executive team. Resolution number 11 is a procedural action item and authorizes the district to continue its participation in the California Statewide Delinquent Tax Finance Authority program for the fiscal years 2026 through 2028. Through this program, the district receives delinquent property tax revenues upfront rather than waiting several years for collection. This enhances cash flow, provides greater revenue stability, and supports overall budget planning. This is a well-established program that the district has successfully utilized in prior years with no direct cost to participate. It is recommended that the Board of Education approve this resolution.
Questions? All right, do I have a motion to approve resolution number 11, Delinquent Tax Program Renewal?
So moved.
Second, please.
Second.
Thank you, Mrs. Ryan. Ms. Lamb? Roll call, Mr. Chang?
Aye.
Mr. Sung?
Aye.
Ms. Lamb?
Aye.
Mrs. Ryan?
Aye.
Mrs. Gill, aye. And Student Board Member Burke?
Aye.
Thank you. That concludes the action items. And Dr. De La Torre, do you have any superintendent discussion items?
Not this evening, thank you.
Does anyone from the board have anything they'd like to discuss? All right. Well, with that, I'd like to adjourn the meeting at 8:56.